Oh my God, it was so fabulous, wasn't it, Danny? And
Yeah.
we dance. We dance in front of the musicians in wild abandon, no?
Yes. So I came here to interview an incredible lady. She is a hippie. She's a natural love. She's like a nature lover. She would do anything to defend this planet. She's incredible. Eh?
I said, I'm not sure anything, but yeah, I
Yeah.
love this plant.
Yeah, she loves this planet, and I've known her in Tulum some years ago, and she's one of pioneer of Tulum, and that's why I came down in this place in Mexico, not Tulum, but beautiful place, to ask her to tell her about her life and the evolution of Tulum. So her name is Bonnie. Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. And Bonnie is going to tell us our story, how all this started. So, Bonnie, what's your story?
Well, I was born and raised in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and I didn't really discover the nature till I was 18 or so, and I went first to Europe and saw the Alps, and when I came back many months later, I said I have to go and see my own country, our Rocky Mountains. So I went across from Montreal to British Columbia, driving in the middle of winter with two wacky friends, and I fell in love with British Columbia, the wildness, the beauty, the ruggedness of BC. And I ended up in 1976 going tree planting for the first time. And that was a wild and crazy and wonderful way to make money, actually.
Yeah.
You lived communally with groups of people. You had fantastic food. You had a cook shack, we called it, the interior, and we became one family over the course of a season, and then everybody would go their separate ways. And at one point, I met my husband Bob in 1982 or 3 or something, like 40 years ago now, and we've been together ever since. And in 1998, 7 maybe, we I had a girlfriend with a place in Belize, and I went to Belize first, and I went, Bob would love this. So the next year he came back with me, and after that we drove back 1 year, and then the next year we drove back with a sailboat, 26-foot sailboat that we launched in Belize and did the Keys.
Nice.
And we fell in love with both Belize and Mexico, and but we decided through a flip of a coin to settle in Tulum. And all those funny little things that happen, right? I could be living in Belize right now.
Yeah, it's true. Life is like this. You never know which choice.
Yeah.
So, because we're going to talk mainly about Tulum,
yes.
I want to know, what was your first impression when you arrived in Tulum? That was 25 years ago.
Pristine paradise, pristine, beautiful, very little happening, people walking around naked on the beaches or in loincloths maximum. Everybody felt so safe. It was a pretty magical, very magical place.
So yeah, you were. It was really like living like hippie, naked on the beach.
Yeah.
And you told me there was no restaurant on the beach. So
there was 2 restaurants on the beach. One I remember was called Los Arrecifes. I don't know if it's still there anymore. And the other one was called Zamas.
Zamas, yeah.
And Danny knows Zamas.
I know Zamas because I've been going to Tulum for 15 years. So
yeah.
That's why, yeah.
And Zamas had brought in, or I don't quite know how it happened, but this young couple arrived from Mexico City Camilo and Jasmine, and she was an amazing percussionist, and he was a blow your mind kind of a guitar player.
Oh yes, yeah, incredible, yeah.
And we couldn't wait. When we would leave, we'd have to leave early because we were still working tree planting, and we couldn't wait to get back to the music of Tulum.
Yeah, because in a winter, our Canadian winter, they are living in Mexico. They were living in Mexico, but after in the summer, you were going back to live
in the spring, early spring, in winter.
Yeah, you would live in Canada.
Yeah, huh? we drive back to Canada.
You drive back to Canada. Time. You still do it.
No, we don't drive anymore.
No, but you still live. Yeah,
yeah, we do 6 months. 6
yeah,
months.
You don't live the full year. So tell me about this experience. So apparently something happened and you bought a piece of land.
Yeah.
Next to La Zebra.
Well, we had it in our mind that we wanted to buy a place in some place, and we wanted to buy it originally with friends, and that didn't work out. But I was approached by this wild and crazy guy to asking if we wanted to buy a piece of his land, and I said to Bob at the time, it's out of our comfort zone, but here's this opportunity to own a little piece of paradise.
My God, yeah.
So we went for it, and we bought the piece of paradise, and we came down the next year with a trailer, and we came down with tents, and we went and we bought foamies, and we bought bricks, and we bought plywood, and we made beds, and all our friends came, and we had like another commune style thing happening on the beach. And Bob wanted me to mention we had even a badminton court. We used to play naked badminton.
Badminton.
We used to even go down on the beach. We had a volleyball court, and we played naked volleyball. You know.
Yeah, everybody at that time, the hippie.
Everybody was just naked and having fun.
So you live like that for 7 years, in like actually it would be like now the modern glamping. Not like now people do glamping, but you see, you were the pioneer of
glamping.
So you live like this for 6-7 years with friends coming and sleeping on a tent and your family, and then you decide to
build our first house.
Your first house.
But before that, I'd sort of like to just mention what Tulum was like back then.
Oh yes,
all those years ago, there was no bank. We had to go to Playa and stand in enormous lines to get into the bank. There was no supermercado. The only supermarket was called Mar Caribe. It's still there, but it sells souvenirs now, and lots of alcohols. And there was no laundromat. I believe that I never found it anyway. So we would go every few weeks. We would go to Playa del Carmen to do whatever banking. The phones at that time, you used to buy cards for the phone, and you'd go stand on the street, and I'd call my mother to see how she was doing and all that, and tell her I was still alive in Mexico. And it was a lot different. And there was always in town, there was Don Cafeto, who just died this year, actually.
Ah, yes, Don Cafeto, yes. Okay,
Don Cafeto was the coffee shop that had good coffee.
Yes.
He had good coffee, and he had Mexican cuisine and stuff. And there was Charlie's, which is still going, by Charlie down by the Adeo.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie was there, Don Cafeto was there, and there was Basilica, was Italian, and La Nave, and that was about it.
So that was a restaurant, I remember. And then, so what people would love then in Tulum, even me when I was going there, it's like all this world of music.
Yes.
There was world music like I think it was the only place in the planet at that time that you had such a community of musicians coming from all over the world and jamming. So tell us.
Oh my God, it was so fabulous, wasn't it, Danny?
And
we dance in front of the musicians in wild abandon, no?
Yeah, totally.
Nobody, it was.
I remember Bogdan. There was sitar. There was piano.
Violin.
Your husband Bob was doing harmonica.
That was Ted.
Oh, it was Ted doing harmonica. Yeah, it was just beautiful. So there was this music. Now there is restaurant all over, and so tell me about your house.
but I wanted to just continue with that for a second. And then there was mezzanine,
Oh, yeah, mezzanine, yeah.
which was a beautiful outdoor dance area at night. It was
Yeah.
just gorgeous. 18 years ago, I went to their 18-year celebration when I was
Wow.
up in Tulum.
Yeah.
And then there was La Zebra.
La Zebra for salsa dancing on Sunday
Yes,
night.
with Manuel in the lesson. It was
The
so
lesson,
fun.
yeah,
And, oh,
yeah.
packed. It was be packed.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
bar to get to
Yeah.
the bar? So much
So
fun.
that was the Tulum, we would say, of 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And then you had your house, and
Then we built our first house. That's how I met Danny. She
Mhm.
came with a group of wild and wonderful, open
woman
women from Quebec.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
drinking tequila, and we were having like beautiful sunset, cocktails. That was great. And then at one point, you saw Tulum changing, and you decided you probably prefer to sell, huh?
We decided we would get off the beach,
Okay.
which was, if we loved the beach, but it was changing and
Too noisy, too.
not yet. It wasn't that
No?
noisy yet, no. And so we, there was just a bunch of reasons, and so we sold our thing, and we bought another friend of ours land. He had bought a lot in Aldeazama. Beside a green zone in the private houses, and so we built a beautiful house.
Such a beautiful, I saw
you,
it,
Danny.
very, very tasty with a swimming pool and all that. And after that,
Villa Verde.
Villa Verde. Yes, you want to.
Villa Verde,
Villa
Tulum.
Verde. And the name of your house that you sold on the beach, what's the name?
Now it's called Mahayana.
Mahayana. Okay. And
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Whenever you go in this place, you arrive and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
It-
You time stops and
Yeah.
you just chillax.
Yeah. So now, Bonnie and Bob, you live in another place of Mexico,
Yeah.
much more quiet, and because you most of time your beautiful house is rented, so you still go back, huh, to Tulum.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I
You
can
still
book
love
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
can book it when I want it, or if there's a couple of open days, we can go down and check the house and visit with friends and
Yeah,
go eat some
you still love
beautiful
it.
food
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
So what? Because you were one of the pioneer of these places, of this place, Tulum. What would you like to say to the young people now who are living in Tulum, or even the other people? Because you've seen the change and all that. So, what would you like to say?
Okay. Well, I would say that COVID was very good to Tulum. It was also during the Black Lives Matters, and so a lot of people left the United States and all
Yeah.
the wackiness there, and they came down to wait out COVID, and then realized that they could do their work from there,
Nomad
live
digital,
a safer life.
Yeah.
Although the news outlets would tell you it's not safe, but it's
Yeah,
a
it's
hell of a
still
lot
safe.
safer than
Yeah.
New York
Huge city.
cities, big cities in America. And I believe that the young people that have made Tulum home now will find it in their spirits, in their souls, in their hearts to help create a better Tulum. Not that it's bad, but just to make it like a first world, a very, very first world, a modern city. A good city.
But with more awareness of the ecology or all that of nature.
Yeah.
It's all all these young people are much more aware now because our
It's all
planet
out
is
there,
it's all out there. So that's what you hope for Tulum.
That is what I think of Tulum.
Okay. And, as all my interview, I always ask my interview, what is a message you would like to leave the people listening to us? Any message?
Okay, well, I guess it comes back to that old Dead Poet Society movie, Seize the Day. Like, don't be afraid. Get out of your comfort zone. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Yeah, basically get out of your comfort zone
Get out of your
sometimes,
comfort zone.
and
It's so good. Yeah.
you make it happen. You
Yeah.
make your dreams come true.
And it does not mean like during the process it's easy. No, it's not always
Oh
easy.
God.
But at the end, it's always, you find out, like, my God, I did it. Like you said, when you buy the land and you bought the land in Tulum, you had no idea where you were going. And look at you now,
I know.
like you have beautiful house and blah, blah, blah. So, trust the process. Believe in yourself, because magic is in the unknown. So I hope you like that, and don't forget to put little like and subscribe, because thanks to you, subscriber, I can do like what I'm doing now, interviewing people from all over the world who had like all different story, interesting, and we are never scared. And because life happens for you and not to you.
That's a good one. Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Bunny. Ciao.
Ciao.